So, look, I've been so stung recently by comments on the website that I have been failing to mark your homework, that I've been letting you down, I haven't been paying enough attention to your comments, that now I've become obsessive about it. If I have any free moments at all, I'm just answering your comments. Now, driving around amidst all the Christmas shopping frenzy, but I've got a few minutes to spare, so I'll spend them looking at your comments. Let's get going. This from the concise statement. I still don't know how Mark felt about A Matter of Loaf and Death. I thought it was a little masterpiece and Nick Park's best yet, loved the darker tone. I thought I had mentioned this elsewhere. I loved A Matter of Loaf and Death, not only because the title is a pun about one of my favourite movies of all time, but genuinely, as always, with all the Aardman stuff, yes, the darkness underlying the humour always brings out the very best in their strange mix of comedy and melodrama and parochial and universal. Absolutely loved it, thought it was really, really great. Thanks for bringing it up. This from James Reeves. This is in relation to me playing the blues with Santa on my Christmas movies blog. It says, blues riff in B, a la Marty McFly, not A, because I said blues in A, watch me for the changes, try and keep up. Actually, that little git of a Santa puppet was playing in B flat, which is a total nightmare of a key to play in. So it really should have been blues in B flat, watch me for the changes and try and keep up. But as somebody who's a bit claw-hammered with my guitar playing, blues in A will always do for me. This from Burn Hollywood Burn. There was a comment on the site about Jonathan Ross being quoted as saying that Batman Forever was the greatest movie ever made, and he says apparently that the quote is indeed true. I've got a copy of the VHS and it's on the back cover, but supposedly it was a bet between Jonathan Ross and somebody else as to see who could get a quote on the poster, and that actually seems to explain it pretty sufficiently to me. This from Craig. In relation to quotes that were taken out of context or quotes that were used maybe inappropriately on the cover of videos. I love this. There was a cover of Saw. There was a quote from The Guardian. It said, perhaps you enjoyed 7. This goes up to 8. 8 with the, you have to see it written down really, but it was funny when I read it. This from Estonian film fan, our old friend. I was saying that I really didn't get Synecdoche, New York, and yet a couple of people had said to me, look, it's a really great movie, and I was in Belfast and somebody said it was their favourite movie of the year, and I said, tell me what was good about it. They said there's one line that was good about it. So I said to you guys, tell me if you really liked Synecdoche, tell me what's good about it. This from Estonian film fan. I'd like to defend Synecdoche, New York. Honestly, I really loved, and more importantly, could relate to the situation that Philip Seymour Hoffman's character found himself in. That being said, and this is a defence, I'm incidentally paraphrasing, the film is not without its faults. Certainly the last 15 or so minutes are completely unnecessary. You see, that's somebody mounting a stern defence of the film, admitting that the 15 minutes at the end is completely unnecessary. I have yet to find anyone who really, really loves the film in its entirety, who doesn't think that whole sections of it are totally dispensable. From Melatonin, back to the subject of quotes being misused on movie advertising. This is lovely. I'm not sure if this counts, but I remember my mate got me a pirate version of 21 grams, which had the quote on the front, downright hilarious. If you've ever seen 21 grams, it's a lot of things, and downright hilarious isn't one of them. This from Marcus Muse. Oh yes. Mark our comments on Paranormal Activity, and then you're free for the Christmas holidays. So, I went through the whole Paranormal Activity thing. I was asking, was it just me? Why wasn't I frightened by the movie? Why were other people so terrified by it? Tell me what I was missing. Just a couple of my favourite responses. This from Lanky Weirdo. How come nobody's mentioned Wreck? For shame, I thought Wreck was a great example of the type of faux docu-horror being discussed, and it was scary. I was almost as scared as I ever get from watching a film. In fact, one of the first blogs I ever did here on Kermode Uncut was about Wreck, was about the soundtrack of Wreck, and I think it's a great movie. It was really, really terrific, never needed to be remade, but a real, genuine chiller, and yes, certainly something that I think Paranormal Activity doesn't hit that same level of terror at all. This from Dominic Holmes. James King is only 12, remember? He shouldn't have been allowed in. And finally, a number of you used one word to dismiss Paranormal Activity, and after reading this word, I'm afraid that I can no longer take the movie as seriously as I took it before. The word is simply this: Ghost Watch.